Let me just give you a couple of concepts here that have been very important for the way that I've always operated, okay? And a lot of people have asked me over the years, you know, Mark, how is it that you've been so successful as a distributor with the company, okay? And the biggest reason is that duplication is an extremely important part of our business. In other words, if you do a lot, that's great. But you can only do so much with your one mouth. What you want to have is lots of people down below you, lots of mouths and lots of eyes who are doing exactly the same thing that you're doing, okay? And so if you're going to get large amounts of people, and Herbalife today has over 500,000 distributors all over the world, okay? And we would never be able to do that if we didn't keep our business. And I want you to write this down because there's been a couple of big things that have been key to my success. Number one is the product. And I say that very sincerely because I was in 2 other companies before as a distributor. And not anything like what's happened to me over here happened to me in those companies, okay? Number one is our product. And that was a philosophy that started the company, and it's done nothing but get stronger with every product that we've come out with. The second key to my success is that everything that I do is very simple to do. It's very easy for my distributors to copy. And it seems like everything that I do and I say seems magical, okay? So when I'm presenting the products to someone, okay, there's not that much I really say about the products, okay? Now, each and every one of you are going to have your own little twist and way that you want to do it, okay? But if you're going to go out and present the products, okay, here's what it should be, okay? Write this down. 25% should be on telling them about the products, whatever you're going to say. 75% should be spent on telling your story and everybody else's story on how they've lost weight and how it's worked for them. Now, the reason I keep everything so simple and so easy to say is because if what I say is simple and easy to say, and I start making lots of money from it, then lots of people, when they start joining the business and they say, well, listen, what do you do? And what do you say to make this $5,000 or $6,000 on retailing the product? If I say, listen, you know, all I say is, hey, listen, all you got to do is use these incredible nutritional products, which there's a few of them, okay, and you drink the Formula One twice a day, and it cuts your appetite down, it makes you feel wonderful, and there's 3 incredible flavors, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. Which one would you like to get started on? Now, you may not want to make it quite that easy, but the closer you can get to that, the better it's going to be, okay? Now, Dr. Larry May came up, and he gave an incredible presentation, didn't he? Isn't it great? Now, I didn't bring Dr. May with me here today to teach you how to do your presentation. The reason we brought Dr. May here today was to give you lots of information on the product so as you as a distributor would be extremely confident that these are the most incredible products in the world. And the reason that we need you to feel that way is because when you talk to someone, it's what's in your eyes and what's in your heart that people feel. Because it's not so many times what you say about the product that's important. It's how you feel about what you say about the products that's important. And that's what people get jacked up about. And that's why it's always been the company's motto, use the products first, wear the buttons second, and start talking to people about the business. Because if you believe in the products, okay, everything else is going to follow from there. You're going to get lots of customers. A lot of them are going to become distributors. They're already going to be great distributors because they feel confident about the product and they can go. So I'm going to give you this little example here, okay? And this is nothing to take away with Dr. May's presentation. We do this on purpose to get you guys what I call herbalized so you feel strength about everything that you're going to go through with different customers. And we want you to have that confidence with every customer that you have because it's that confidence It's that way you look at them. It's that way you feel about what you're saying to them that makes them feel so confident about getting on the product and trying to lose their weight one more time, okay? The only difference in this one is this time it's gonna work. Now, just to show you an example of this, let's just say do you think that if Dr. May did a presentation with a number of people that he did here today, that he could get somebody on the product? Of course. Okay, there's no question about it. He could get people, a lot of people onto the product, okay? But here's the problem with it, okay? Let's watch him now. He becomes a distributor. And let's say he goes out and he does this presentation, which takes an hour, okay? And he sold someone $100 worth of product, and it's taken a whole hour. But he does this all day long, 10 hours a day, and he's making $7,000 a month retailing the product, okay? And he's doing it very successfully. Now, Mary's one of his customers who's all jacked up about the product, and she's lost 25 kilos, and she heard the incredible presentation that he did, and everybody on Mary's block is asking her, what's the story on the product? And she says, well, you know, I think I'm going to become a distributor. I'm going to call up the doctor who sold it to me, and I'm going to ask him what I'm supposed to say, and I'll probably be able to get you some, right? So then she gets back together with Dr. May, and she says, Dr. May, what do I do when I go out and I tell my customers about the product? And he goes, let me explain to you exactly what I explained to you last time, which took approximately 1 hour. We all need the herbal botanicals and the herbs and the drink and the thing and the mop and the meat and the mop. And he goes on for an hour, and as he's going along, this poor housewife is going, oh my goodness, no wonder he makes $7,000 a month. He's extremely educated. He's gotten a lot of training classes. He knows a lot about the product. No wonder he makes so much money. Quite frankly, I don't think I can be like him. I don't want to go through that much training. I don't have that much time. This is not for me. So we want Dr. May to get you jacked up as an individual, to get excited for the strength, to be able to look someone in the eye, to say Herbalife is the greatest, okay? But when you come to do your presentation, you don't need to do that much. All you got to do is really be excited about the stuff and say, and when someone asks you about your butt, and then they say, well, listen, how do you lose weight? And you say, this is a perfect line. This is the Mark Hughes line. You might want to write this down. Someone says to you, how? And I go, you're not even gonna believe it. Okay? Let's write that down. Let's try it all at once. Someone asks it on your button, because your immediate reaction is very important, right? They say, because if they say, well, how do you lose weight? You go, well, I don't know, it's a shaken tablet. This is not a good idea, okay? Because they're not going to believe in your excitement and your strength and your level of excitement of the product. So when they ask you about the product, your initial reaction is very important. So they say, hey, how do you lose weight? And you say, God, you're not even going to believe it. It's this incredible product called Herbalife. It's so amazing. I got on the product and lost 16 pounds, and all I had to do that is, because it's all this nutrition stuff that's in there, is I drank these 2 shakes a day that are jam-packed full of proteins and everything, and took these tablets 3 times a day, which I got the herbs and all the minerals and all the things that make you feel hungry, and it comes in 3 incredible flavors, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. Which one would you like to drink? Now, who could do that? Everybody. See, that's what's important. You want a business that everybody can do it. So whether you do it exactly the way that I did or a little bit different, what the concept is you don't want to say a lot, okay? You want to keep your presentation to 25% of the presentation on the product, 75% giving them confidence about what you've lost, in what other people have lost, and your confidence and your conviction and how you feel about the products, okay? And then that way, when they start wanting to become a distributor of the company, and you show them how much you make on retail and the product, and all you're saying is shakes and 3 tablets a day and eat what you want and cut back and give me the money and I'm getting rich, they'll all want to do it too, because they're going to say, hey, if that's all I got to do and that's all I got to say, that's simple enough for me to do it, I'll sign up. And that's what you want, duplication. Because in a business like this, you can only make so much with your own mouth. What you want is lots of mouths who are saying the same things that you're saying, and then you can duplicate yourself through your efforts, and you can start building your royalty override check and eventually your production bonus check, which we'll talk about later. Does that make sense? So I want to just give you a couple of tips on why I think retail is so important, okay? Because retail is really the cornerstone of the company. Don't think that you're just going to come into the company and recruit a zillion people and then everybody's going to get rich, okay? You can certainly recruit a lot of people and sell people $4,000 orders, and your people sell people $4,000 orders, and so on. And you may get some momentum going on for a short period of time, okay? And you get that false income going on. But if the whole group, if that's all they're doing and they're not selling the actual product to the customer, and someone's not eating it and then coming back the next month and eating it, they're not all going to keep selling that 4,000 and rebuying it. And in the minute the recruiting slows down to any degree whatsoever, the thing's going to crash just like this. There's no reason why a check shouldn't go up every single month as long as the entire organization is selling the product at retail. So here's a couple of things that I believe very strong in retail, okay? And why you should do retail. Number one, I like to get my new distributors selling the products immediately, because this is where they can put their money in their pocket now. And that's very exciting, because most businesses, you can't start a business and put money in your pocket now. I mean, even if you were to start a little tiny beauty salon, okay, here in Korea, how much would it cost to open up just a little beauty salon? But say probably around 20,000 US, you convert that into wons, okay? And, you know, if you were to do that, the first thing is they've got to get a big sign on there. They got to hire an accountant to set up their books. They got to have employees. They got to have inventory. They got to do all this stuff that you don't have to do as an Herbalife distributor, right? And they're not putting that money in their pocket every day. When those first customers are coming in, they're paying for their overhead. When those customers keep coming in, they're paying for their inventory. When they keep doing it, they're paying for all the lawyer expenses for getting the company started. So this is like, for me, okay, I call Herbalife, it's the average person's best chance of starting their own business, because here, you don't have to manage your inventory. You don't have to manage any employees. You don't have to do the books for everybody, okay? You don't have to do all the things you do in a normal business. All you got to do here, which is incredible, is use the products, feel great about them, sell the products, get people in the company, get them to the training classes, and duplicate yourself, and we'll manage the inventory, and we'll manage your check, and we even help manage your organizations and do part of the training classes for you, and we develop the products for you. This has got to be the most unbelievable business that there's ever been in business history. It's simply amazing. So I like it because people can put money in their pocket now. And I was in a little training class the other day, and John and Susan Peterson were there, who made $5 million in the company last year. And John used to be in the real estate business. I said, John, how long did it take you to make money in your real estate business? And he said, normally it took between 4 and 6 months just to finish a contract to sell a subdivided land that he was selling and so on. And I thought to myself, God, that's hard for me to comprehend, waiting for 6 months to try to make some money. You know what I'm saying? And then one of the great things about this is that any of you ever had someone that's brand new that's so scared about selling Herbalife. You know, they're like, oh, I don't think I can do it, right? And then they go to that first customer, and like their grandmother says, you know, they go there, would you buy the products? And the grandmother says yes, and they go, I'm the greatest salesman in the world. You know, it's like they change overnight, you know what I'm saying? From that one little yes. Then they start getting 2 yeses, and they get 3 yeses, and 4 yeses, and pretty soon, you know, they're very excited about doing this, and the more excited they are, the more they talk, and the more they talk, the more excited they get, and the more money that they make, and it's just amazing. So that's one great thing I love about the retail thing. So we have to protect ourselves, our distributors, and the company, okay? The next reason I love retail, and it's not as big a problem right this moment, but it's gonna be. I'm just gonna warn you. We are the first ones that are entering the market with these types of products, okay? And it was similar to what I have happened in Japan, and I told these guys, because we were the only company in Japan at that time that were selling these type of products. There was never anything that came into the market like that. But within 4 years, there was 25, 30 other products like ours that were hitting the market, okay? And one of the reasons why you want to continue to retail, even if you're at the top at the president's team, you want to continue to retail not only to make money, but you want to retail, write this down, president's team members, to show your organization that you sell the products. Because if you don't sell the products, they won't sell the products. And if they don't sell the products, they're not going to get the money in their pocket quick, which is the first area thing that they need to do, okay? But the next thing is that when you're out there all the time, you stay current with what's happening in the marketplace. People ask you, why is this different than that is different? And if you're out there, you can not only learn what the people are thinking, you can learn what the objections are, which is important for you as a trainer to train your organization about what they're going to face when they go out there into the market. So that's another reason. The biggest reason why I like retail is this. Everybody in the room is going to have an incredible story, okay, an incredible story. But sometimes you get a person that has even a more amazing story than you do yourself. And when you have someone that's the first customer that you have, that you get that loses 25 kilos and all kinds of different problems go away, and they are healthier than they've ever been in their entire life, and they come to you and say, thank you so much for giving me this Herbalife product. That's the day that you're gonna know that this business is a lot more than just making money. It's truly a thing where you are helping people out. And that's the day when you are gonna say, I'm proud to wear my button, I'm proud to go out and talk about the products, I'm proud about being an Herbalife distributor. And that's the kind of faith, okay, that we want everybody to get. And you will get that at some point. If it happens here today, great. If it doesn't happen here, come to the next training class, and in the next training class, and the next one until it happens, because in that time, that's the kind of depth of courage that we need you to have in the pit of your stomach, so that when certain things come along that try to get you off track, you stay here on track with Herbalife, and there's no reason why you can't come from the back of the room. I'm talking everybody in the back of the room that's a brand new distributor, to working yourself up to the world team, to getting onto the get team, to working yourself up to the millionaire team, and yes, every single one of you getting up to the president's team. And I know that's probably hard for a lot of you to believe in the back of the room, but all these people that you see up here in the front, they were in the back of the room at one time too. See, I met all these guys when they were broke, you know what I mean? So I know their story. So I want to talk to you about follow-up, okay? We've talked a couple of things about selling the product. Follow-up is extremely important. Now, how many people in the room love follow-up? I don't like it either. Nobody likes follow-up, okay? Follow-up's kind of hard because, you know, you're there, and when you sell the product, you make money instantly, and when you're following up, you're not making any money at that point. But follow up, write this down, is where all the money is. Because see, just getting them on the product is one step. Following up is the steps that will help them take the product correctly and get them to be customers forever. The reason I did not go to selling this kind of product in a supermarket, as opposed to doing it the way that we do it, is because if you bought the product from the supermarket and you came home and you used it and you didn't like the taste, no one's going to call you up from the supermarket and tell you how to make the shake differently. So I'll give you a couple of tips on when you're following up with your customers to not only get good results, but also to handle any of their little problems, okay? First I call up and I say, how you doing, Mary? And she goes, oh, awful. And here's the first thing that you do. Whenever they say, most of the time you're going to call up, you're going to say, how you doing, Mary? Did you take your shakes this morning? They say, oh, yeah, it's just great. They taste wonderful. It's unbelievable, okay? That's what's going to happen most of the time. But about 1 out of every 10, they're going to not pay attention to your instructions about milk, and they're going to get sidetracked. But your reaction is extremely important on how you react. So you call up and you say, how you doing, Mary? She goes, awful. Write this down. No problem. She goes, what do you mean no problem? It's no problem. Okay, let me ask you something. And then there's these couple of questions that I ask, okay? And you never ask them like this. Did you drink the product in milk? They'll say, no. You got to go like this. Mary, what did you drink the product in? She goes, milk. And you go, aha, that's the problem. You see? And you go, listen, Mary, lots of people, when they drink the product in milk, they have these reactions, and that's what's happening to you. And Sally, I just got onto the product a week ago. She had the exact same problem with drinking the milk. She had tremendous diarrhea on the product, and all she did was get on the product with juice. She started doing it twice a day and taking the tablets 3 times a day. That's what the customers want from you. Write this down. It's one of the reasons why we ask you first to use the product. Because we know if you use the product, you're going to feel strong about the product. And then after listening to Dr. Larry May, you even feel stronger than that about the product. And so here's what your customers want. They want you to believe that they're going to lose weight even more than they believe in it themselves. They want your excitement. They want your enthusiasm. They want to see what's in your eyes, what's in your heart, okay? And I'm telling you something. If you'll just dig down deep and feel what it's like to be the customer, okay? Because most of the customers, if they say no to you, they don't want to try this. Let me tell you something. They don't mean no. They just mean that I don't want to try on another weight loss program one more time. It has nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do with the lacking in your dress or where your check's at this moment or where your business is at this moment. It just means that there's a lot of people out there that can't get the guts up one more time. That's why if we can feel down in the pit of our stomach how it is for them to be as an individual, we can talk to them, okay? And they feel what we say in our heart, and they feel what we say in our eyes, and they start to believe in how it comes out. Not what you say, how you feel about what you say is what's important. And they get on the product, and finally they're losing weight, and someone who's very negative is very happy, and pretty soon the husband's on the product, and he's losing weight, and they're doing great together, and the whole family is doing great. And when they walk down every single day for the Sunday stroll, every single neighbor sees that they're looking good and feeling good, and everybody says, my goodness, the Clouds are doing much better as people and stuff like that. And then they hear about the Herbalife opportunity, and they invite them down to the Tuesday night's meeting, and pretty soon they're on the world team, and pretty soon they do their 10,000 3 months in at the row, and they're at the home office, and they're becoming Get Team members. Now, I want to introduce just a concept, okay, that I had all my hot distributors on when we started the company. And we really needed this in the very beginning because everybody that I got in the company in the beginning was not anywhere at all business type person, okay? They were housewives and clay potters, and they were school teachers, and but so they needed some things that would keep them on track as if they were in a regular, normal type business. And that's where I came up with this concept. Now, this is not for necessarily everyone, okay? There's people in the room here that are here today to hear about how to make $500 a month. And if that's what you're here to do, you've heard pretty much that already with just what you've seen. There's people that are here to make $50,000, $100,000 and more. That's really for you guys on this next portion, okay? And this is good for not only the person who's doing it to keep on track, but it's good for the sponsor to have to keep themselves and their people on track. So this is what I call getting 10 people a month. And this started from the very day that we opened up the company, was this plan. And this first part of the plan's got to do with the retailing that we just finished up, and that's talking to 10 people a day about the product. 10 people a day about the product. And the way you approach this really is the same way you approach your regular job, okay? And because this is a free enterprise business, and because this is your own business, and you're the president and the chairman of the board of your own company, you have to adopt certain habits, okay, as if you were in a regular job, even though this isn't very regular what we're doing here. It's far beyond what we would do. But in a regular job, you'd check in at 9, and your boss would tell you, these are the things you must do all day long till 5 o'clock, or you're fired, okay? And in Herbalife, you don't get fired if you don't do these. You just make less money, okay? If you do these things, you can make lots of money, okay? And this is what I call employing yourself as an individual Herbalife distributor. And that's to get the habit of talking to 10 people a day about the product, okay? Now let's just say that we're gonna be real generous to you here, and you're gonna take off weekends, so you're only gonna work 22 days in the month, and 22 days in the month times 10 people a day you talk to on the products, that's 220 people that you talk to, okay? If you just got a quarter, okay, of these 220 people that you talk to during the day, that's 50 people that would get onto the product. And that would give you a start of a good retail base. Now the average sale, what's the average sale out here? 200. Wow, you guys are good salespeople. Okay, they say it's $200, I'll cut it in half, okay? Let's say it's only $100, okay? That's $5,000 worth of business that you'd be doing a month, and at 40%, that's $2,000 a month, or $24,000 a year, okay? From just talking to 10 people every single day. And when I was with the TAB team yesterday, they were telling me that the average secretary, okay, in a normal job makes about $1,000 a month, okay? So for just talking to 10 people a day and not having the boss who's yelling at you all day long, and you gotta serve him coffee, and you gotta put up with all the stuff of a normal job, 10 people a day, and you'd make twice as much as the average secretary. I mean, that's incredible. Now we're gonna talk a lot more about this 10-10 concept as we go through the day and we get into recruiting, okay? But that finishes up kind of the retail portion. The only other thing I wanted to say on retail, okay? Whenever I finish up a sale, okay, and you guys can do this any way you want to. Some people get the referrals when they do the follow-up. I like to get into referrals right away and ask for them. I don't always get them, okay, but I go for it right away. So there's two things I do after I make the sale, okay? Because at some point, while you're talking to them about the products, they say, that's it, I don't want to get any more product. that's it, okay? I say, okay, no problem. There's no reason to spend any more money here today, but let me take you through some of the other products that we have just so that you can keep these in mind, okay? What about shampooing your hair, okay? They say, well, yeah, geez, I wash my hair. Say, listen, does anybody else in your family wash their hair? Well, yeah, my husband. Anybody else? Yeah, my 2 children. Okay, so there's 4 people right there that are going to use shampoo and rinse. What kind of products are you using? Oh, Vidal Sassoon. Oh, you're not even going to believe how great our product is compared to that. Now listen, you got 4 people in the household that are using the product, and I always like to sell month's supply, and you're going to probably go out of this stuff in about 10 days. You got 4 people, so that means you're going to need at least 3 bottles of this stuff. So when are you going to run out? She says in about 2 weeks. Great, I'll be back here in 12 days, and I'll get you your 3 bottles of shampoo and rinse so you, your husband, your children can use the product. And I keep going through the product line and give them what they want, okay? See, the thing is about our product line, if you don't tell them about the entire product line, someone else is going to tell them about these kind of products. And they're either going to buy them from you or from somebody else. And so you want to make sure that they know about all the products. And it's so sad, so often I'll be running around to different parts of the country and people will say, hey, aren't you that herb guy? And I go, yeah, that's me. I'm the herb man. And I said, what, did you lose some weight or something like that? And they say, yeah, I lost some weight. And I said, have you ever tried any of the other products like the omega-3s or the Smart Mind or the fat blocker or any of the other products? And they said, well, geez, I didn't even know you had those kind of things. And it's so sad that they don't know that they have those things. You got to make sure that they know about the whole product line. Not only because it's great for them, but it's going to be great for you making money. And these little things that you do can add up to enormous sums of money that you don't think about when you're new. Selling 1 shampoo and rinse, that only makes you a few dollars, okay? But then you add a moisturizer on it, it adds a few more dollars. You add maybe the mask to it, it adds a few more dollars. But now you start coming up with an extra $100 worth of business, times 50 customers, which is another $5,000 worth of business. Start doing that times 15 or 20 supervisors, and they have 15 or 20, and they have 15 or 20. Now you start to come up with the $100,000 a year difference in just selling them a couple of extra products, you see? And so it's you doing it first. Write that down. Everything in the company is you doing it first, because you can't be training your distributors on things that you don't do yourself. You can train them, okay, and it'll be slightly effective, but it'll be extremely effective if you yourself are doing it, okay? Because then you're fresh, you mean it, and they can see it in your heart, they can see it in your eyes, they can see it in the way that you talk to them, and that's what's going to come across to not only your customers, but your distributors, okay? So that really ends up on the retail stuff.